What is poppin', everybody? Happy Sunday to everyone out there. My name is Lewis Marshall. I am your host here at the Leadership Lounge live show. This is where we talk all things prompt engineering. We talk about content creation, where we talk about AI, we talk about community conversations, that sort of thing. So this week, we've got an exciting episode. I had a really amazing week and just want to get into some of the information, but want to give everybody an opportunity to get tapped in right quick. I'm going to drop some links in the chat so that we can. I'm not multi streaming this week. I am keeping it to my group. So I am going to drop these links. We're going to get into it. I'm going to do a quick recap from last week. Bear with me, please. Uh, we've got that one. We got one more. How is everybody doing? I know this week we had I'll say I switched gears this week. I did quite a bit of playing around in Kling AI this week. And so I really spent a good majority of my time working on that. And then as well, let me just toggle back and forth with my notes. I did a little research on the AI market and what does the market share look like? What does market growth look like? Meaning, how do we at the bottom begin to actually monetize our skills of all of these things that we're doing with AI? So I got a little bit of information. This is going to be the very dry portion of the show. So please don't leave because we are going to get into a bigger conversation about Kling AI specifically and how it ties into this and your content. So you're going to have to bear with this very dry information, but we're going to tie it in with what most of us have done this week in testing and playing around with Kling AI, getting accustomed to prompting for video, that sort of thing. So the first piece of information is really about market growth. If you've kind of been tapped in with us since maybe January of this year, or even if you go so far back as last year, October, September of last year, you really have seen a lot of the market growth taking place in real time. You see it in the platforms implementing AI. You see it in businesses implementing AI. So I want to read this stat and this piece of information about market growth. It says the AI market, art market, is projected to grow significantly from 212 million in 2022 to 5.8 billion with a B by 2032, driven by the integration of AI into visual art, music, and literature. So we can kind of speak to two of those three things. Well, I can anyway. I can say definitely within music because there are a few people, and I know Shirley is in the house, so she can kind of speak to how AI really infuses with music and is beginning to create this new genre of music and AI, and I don't quite know what that looks like because it's so new. We can speak to it in literature because a lot of us are using things like Chat GPT to help us refine how we write our captions, how we write blog posts, descriptions for products, those sorts of things. So we're really already using it in the literature area. And a lot of people even go a step further and implement it in their coursework or their books or ebooks, those sort of things. So we've seen a number of different ways how this really ties into our industry. As far as art, you're seeing it evolve definitely at a rapid pace. So the second thing that I want to talk about is generative AI adoption. This stat says visual art is the dominant segment within generative AI art, holding a 44% market share. This segment is closely followed by music and literature. So if you think about how AI from an art perspective and the generative AI have allowed us to really ramp up how much content we put out. You think about how many images you can make with a permutation prompt, dash dash repeat, and a solid prompt. Even if it's just average, it's a basic prompt. That gives you 40 plus images potentially. So your ability to do that at such a rapid rate really is changing the industry. And that extends to the content creation side. And that's what we've focused on over the last 8 months, 9 months. But we've only stayed in one area of how this is taking effect. And so this week, especially with how I've been playing with Kling AI, I really want to incorporate these stats and how they tie in, because this is the direction that the world globally is going. And so if we don't want to be left behind, like I said 6 months ago, hey, if you're not learning how to prompt engineer on your own, you will be left behind, because there will be a point in time where we're having to prompt for video. I said that on this show. I said that here on this show. So now look at where we are less than 6 months later, where we're on a platform that has opted to make video its primary focus for commanding reach and reaching a new audience. They have adjusted and refactored the main feed to support that. They have disclosed to their shareholders that, hey, it is profitable. It is actually working. We're not going back to the old way. And then now you see they've implemented on the platform AI that allows you to be creative on platform without having to leave. So we're not going backwards. There is no going back to the way things used to be. You either have to catch up and adapt, or you're going to get left behind. So now that we're no longer focusing on prompting for images, and now we're prompting for video, anybody who wasn't ready, now they're already behind. So here's another stat. Regional leaders. This tells you where it's being dominant. It says North America, Europe, and Asia are the leading regions in adopting AI-generated artworks. These regions are also home to major players like OpenAI, Google, and Culture, which are driving the transformation. So if you think about how pivotal OpenAI has been to the average individual over the last 2 years, 3 years, and all of the tech that now we have access to and has been infused in the apps that we use on a regular day-to-day basis, it is molding and shaping the direction of how we are using these tools. It's not the same format anymore. You're having to adapt and get used to the tools driving the platform in the direction they want to go as a business, not to appease us as the consumer. It's to meet their bottom line as a business. So here's another stat that, I'm not so into NFTs. I understand what they are. I understand how they work, but it's just not my wheelhouse in terms of how I want to utilize the art or the images or the media, if you will. It says AI generated NFTs have created new revenue streams for artists, with the highest valued AI generated NFT sold for $1.1 million. This shows a growing market for unique digital assets. So as we're creating these unique images, videos, pieces of content, there is value there beyond what the platforms are saying it's worth. So this is a stat that tells you, hey, there is actual value for the art beyond just being paid 0.000017 cents per view, engagement, interaction, etc. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. I see Shirley was good. I see Uriah was popping. I want to move forward to AI art tools. I want to move through this very dry information so we can really, really get into it. So if I'm going too fast, put it in the comments. Let me know to slow down. But the next part is about AI art tools. Most of us that are in Unleashed AI or that are subscribed to me already know about Dali and Midjourney. Those are the two most popular among artists for generating new ideas and artworks. About 65% of artists use text to image technology to expand their creative process. I'll tie this into, hey, I just went to Comic-Con and I'm going to give some feedback about that and what I saw. Sorry, I wasn't able to go live the way that I really wanted to, but as soon as I walked in the big grand hall, my internet got blocked. So I wasn't really able to live stream in the way that I wanted to, but I took so much footage and had so much fun. But I saw a lot of art, and we'll get into that and the specifics about what I saw here a little later. I want to move forward to economic impact because everybody's talking about monetization. How do we use this to make money? How do I monetize my content? How do I make money from these images? I've heard this for the last year, calendar year. How do we monetize this? How do we actually make money off of this? So, economic impact. Over half of the artists believe AI will negatively impact their ability to generate income due to the competition from cheaper AI generated alternatives. So I can kind of speak to this from I am an airbrush artist first. I continue to say that. I'm not going to change that perspective or that view. I am focused on airbrushing first, more so than I am on the AI side. However, I've mastered bits and pieces of the airbrush process for what I want to do. So I'm more refining my skills in that wheelhouse where when it comes to AI, I am still learning and getting used to and evolving as an AI creator in general, not just an AI artist that only makes images. You know, as of this week, I started using Kling AI as part of my process creatively. It was something that I have avoided for months because I wanted to focus in on my skill of being able to prompt for what I want independent of using chat gpt as a shortcut, independent of copying and pasting what somebody else has provided to me. I wanted to be able to master the art of bringing a creative idea from up here all the way through the process, including refining the prompt down to, hey, I've got it dialed in and now I can branch out and be more effective with the prompt. I needed to figure that process out because if I didn't learn that, now that we're texting for video, I wouldn't even have a place to start from. So that's why I've been saying, hey, you need to focus on learning the prompt structure and refining your process in doing that. Because as we start to add in more of a production value, or like Uriah said yesterday, you're now a director. You're now directing the AI to build this scene for you. Instead of like yesterday, I went to Comic-Con and I shot everything manually. I was in landscape, I was in vertical. I physically went out and shot, and I'm sore today. Like I'm real sore. My shoulders are sore, my hips are sore. I was doing what the professionals were doing yesterday at Comic-Con in an effort to get the footage that I need to produce it the way that I want to produce it. You're going to be skipping that step with Kling or whatever comes after Kling, Sora, when it comes out. You're going to skip that filming process. So you being able to articulate, hey, I want it to look like this type of a scene. I want it to move in this way is why I didn't focus on learning animation through all the apps that just throw effects on top of your images. I don't want to learn that. I want to learn how to actually direct it to do what I do from an editing standpoint, from a filming standpoint. I want it to be a tool from a filmmaker standpoint of like, that'll be my assistant. I'll still be directing it and telling it where to go, what to do, how to do it. No, pan to the left, not to the right. Hey, get rid of that part of the scene. You're going to need to learn how to do that at this point if you're going to use Kling AI effectively. So let's get into the next point that they're talking about, ethical concerns, which this is huge with regard to AI. Some people are so afraid, but haven't done any of the research or the knowledge part of it that they're just afraid of how AI is going to affect everything. While I still have concerns, personally, I can't not use it. I can't not learn how to use it. That's just going to put me even farther behind. So it's been important for me personally and for those that are around me to go and take a class, go and learn more. Um, it's part of why I've taught the way that I've taught or shared the information is I'm doing the actual portion of the process where I'm taking a prompt and throwing mac and cheese up against the wall and seeing what sticks. Oh, hey, that worked. Okay, write that down. Hey, that was effective. Write that down. That was effective. Write that down. And then coming back every Sunday and being like, hey, here's what I did this week. This is what I found this week. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. And I'll be honest that there are bits of time where it's frustrating for me as a creator who's like hearing people say, I want help with this specific part of the process. And then I go and take the time to shoot the content, edit the content, provide the content in multiple spaces on one platform. And then what you guys don't see is, hey, I also do this on 3 other platforms for a whole nother audience. So it's a lot of effort, time, energy to pour into a community. So when I see people who are like, oh, that's great that you did that, but I just wanted you to just do it for me. I'm not interested in that. This isn't like that. This ain't that. And as we progress forward, yesterday's price is not today's price. So as we continue to get certifications and we continue to refine this process, yesterday's price is not going to be today's price. It will become more expensive. It will become a course. I would like to continue to do this at a reasonable rate. However, it's a concern for me going forward that the people who are saying that they really want to move forward aren't actively doing the work to do so. So we'll provide a free option every Sunday. You need to show up with your pen and piece of paper on time. That's the expectation here. If you really want to get to the next level, if you want to just pay for it, cool. There's a paid option for you as well. If you still want it for free, but you don't want to come on Sundays and you just need the information, you need to tap into the Unleashed AI group and you need to answer the 3 questions. We're moving forward. We're not waiting around for everybody. I'll speak for myself. Let me not speak for the other moderators and the other admins. I am moving forward. So I'm not going to be focusing on teaching prompt engineering like I was. I moved on to, hey, I need to learn how to and perfect prompting for video now. So I can't wait around on prompting for images anymore because the time is here. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. And if there's a way that I can help smooth that process out for those that aren't actually ready. There are a lot of people that are not actually ready, and that's cool. We can learn it together, but there's going to be a specific format of how this is done going forward. It's not going to be public school all day, every day, where people are just asking rando questions and expecting me to just do the work, but they won't meet me in the middle and do the work either. So that's kind of where I am. And I hope that this week, in terms of getting introduced to Kling AI, getting accustomed to having another free tool / paid tool and how that's going to fit in. And There's two different prompt structures that I shared this week, one for text to video and then one for image to video. So at least you have the basics to get started and start to do the experimentation process on your own without being held up. You don't have to wait on anything. The information is there. You can go to the featured section or you can come to the subscribers hub, but the information is already there. I did post another prompt this morning in the subscriber hub that's specifically for you guys that actually have Kling AI and have been following along all week. That prompt is what I'm going to play around with this week as I'm dropping new content. So it's really going to be an aggressive attack on learning Kling AI. And really, I say Kling because that's the platform I'm choosing to use until Sora comes out. But it's really more about learning to prompt for video, working through that the same way that I worked through Midjourney. I have said multiple times that I view it as Midjourney is more complex to learn to prompt in versus using the free tools where you can just have a conversation and dial it in. But what you lose out on is quality. And so when it comes to the type of content that I am producing and the type of imagery that I'm producing, I can't slack on quality. So I'm moving in that direction. I want to have the best quality. I want to put out the best. And if I'm not there yet, I want to improve with every rep. So with saying that, I want to be around a group of like-minded individuals who are doing the same thing so we can kind of grow together if at all possible. It will be more difficult if we do it as individuals, and it can be done. It just makes it more difficult for everybody to rise together so that we can bring more value to our industry so that we can make more money. So I want to jump back to ethical concerns. It says a significant portion of artists, and in parentheses, it says 74%, view using internet artwork for AI technology as unethical, citing concerns about copyright infringement and the potential devaluation of original art. We talked about this several months ago as well. I personally stopped using the suggestions in Midjourney for artists when they include them in the prompt. I'll delete that part, get that out of here. Or I'll put it in my own style. Like I have my own style on Midjourney because I prompted that much. So it kind of tailored it into my own style. I'll use my own style before I use anybody else's. Even if other people use my style, it's just basically a style reference and they can still make the adjustments in the prompt and they still ain't gonna do things like I do. It just like, this ain't that. So I worry less about the ethical side of things because I know what my heart is. I know how I use my content. I know where my line is in terms of even the fair use laws. I really stay away from that because I want to master making and creating my own unique content. I'll tell you something else because I know that some people have asked about my hard pivot change on why the video content has changed. Well, a couple of factors. In early June, I think around, and I can tell you, let me tell you, so that I can be very clear on how far back this was that I talked about this. Some time ago, I began talking about we need to begin leaning towards learning video. And my rationale was, hey, the platform has said in their quarterly report to the shareholders who they're responsible to as a business, they said, hey, Reels is profitable. So we're focusing on video. I'm looking back. Lounge Notes week 9. So this was like 15 weeks ago. Like We talked about this. I told y'all this was going to happen. It says Facebook focusing on video versus just reels, merging the reels feed with the video feed. They want to optimize for a mobile experience for people of all ages. What that means is now you're going to have a bunch of different video types within your feed. So you're going to have live stream videos, short form videos, long form videos, and no filter to like filter it out. So last month in August, at the beginning of the month, I don't even have reels on my main page. It doesn't say anywhere on the page reels in any of the drop down menus. When I push the drop down menu, it only says video. So what I saw as the person who's curating the content on my page a specific way, I have all of my short form video mixed in with my lounge replays, mixed in with the Leadership Lounge Live on Sundays, mixed in with other stuff, because it's all just video. So there's no way for a viewer to go back. Oh man, I don't like this at all. It's going to be real hard for somebody to go back during the week to watch a full length episode. Yo, that's not going to work for my audience. They need access to these clips. So I need to make the adjustment. Instead of complaining about it, I just need to make the adjustment and pivot and make sure I want it in the places where they already are. So what I did was I improved the subscriber hub to include lounge replays specific to them. In parallel, I created a playlist under reels, a playlist under videos that all have lounge replay clips, either 90 seconds or less or 90 seconds and above, so that you can still kind of find it. But then I started seeing that, hey, all of my 90-second or less videos are having issues with Facebook, and they're being demonetized or flagged. So I found a way to work around it for my content where everybody still gets what they want. They get it where they want it, but the ones who are actually serious, they still get it for free. The ones who are not, yo, you're going to have to break through a touch point. So you are either going to have to come to my page directly and subscribe, or you're going to have to answer the 3 questions to get into the free private group to show that you're serious. If you don't answer the questions, I'm not approving it. So you'll still be on the outside looking in. You still have a free option on Sunday where you can come and you can watch. You should come with a pen and a piece of paper. We are not stopping to go back to the beginning for anybody who's late anymore. We're setting boundaries now. If you don't respect my time, you need to go back and watch it. There are people who are serious that are actively doing the work. So I'm focusing on them, the ones that are saying they're serious. So this week, instead of focusing on prompt engineering and Midjourney, I jumped ahead to start working on prompt engineering in Kling. Here's a couple of things that I found. There are 2, my notes are on that phone. All right. There are 2 prompt frameworks. There is one prompt framework where you are going to be putting, if you're doing image to video, and I'll speak specifically to my Midjourney images because that's all I've used within there, you get a very good quality result in terms of the motion and the movement because it has more pixels to play with and move around. If you're using ChatGPT images or Copilot images, Meta AI images, and they're not upscaled, you're going to have problems. You're going to have morphing issues, distortion issues with your output, which is really a waste of your coins. So we have talked about over 6, 7, 8 months between Uriah, myself, some of the other people, you need to begin upscaling your images. There are upscalers that you can use to upscale your images. Now, this is why, if you're going to start using those images to turn into video or animations or whatever, however you'd like to describe it, You need to actually upscale those images. That's where the people who have been using Midjourney will have the advantage ASAP, like above everybody else who's just putting the other style of images into Kling. That's part of what I found this week. My Midjourney images gave me better finished quality videos, whether in professional, in standard, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, extend the 10-second clip to 15. Out of all of the results that I got this week, the majority came from my Midjourney images. And most of those came from images that I did back in like February, March. I was playing with those because I wanted to see, hey, do my version 5.2 images still work? Hey, do my 5.1 images still work? Oh, they work? Okay, cool. Do the version 4 images work? Oh, those work too? Bet we on. It's up. It's up. Let's get it. And then I started telling people, okay, as you're now generating those videos, you need to go back and get that Lightcut app, that free Lightcut app that, oh yeah. I talked about that back in January and February at the beginning of all this show. I told you, hey, you need to get CapCut and you need to get Lightcut. You can use the free version or you can use the paid version of CapCut to get all of the rest of the like sauce. But those are the two that you're going to need. Here's why on Lightcut, and I'll find the video and I'll redistribute it again a third time now. So in Lightcut, you have the ability to select specific parts of a clip. So you want that 2 seconds or that 4 seconds, you can get that 4 seconds out of the video without having to do a lot of extra work. Like you could just, hey, I just want that 3 seconds. Oh, I want that 4 seconds of that video. Hey, give me 2 seconds of that. Give me that, and smash them all together and give me a nice, general outline. And then I'll take that and jump over to cap. That's where I just turn up. Hey, you have several options now. Now I can either manually edit it and add in all the effects and do what I need to do to make this piece of content unique and tailored to me, or I can use AutoCut, or I can use the templates, or hey, I can go into style and use some of the animations and take it a little farther. Like you got options, but you have everything that you need to take whatever your generated images are all the way through the process to the end of a one piece of content that shouldn't really take you any more than about 30 minutes. Start to finish. Hey, prompt, refine prompt, get a finished, first draft, take it into Kling, run it, then take it over to Lightcut, run it, take it to CapCut, run it, do your thing. Now we got a piece of content that we can post. Now imagine if you just repeated that process and batch did it for your content for the week. How much farther ahead you might be. I know some don't like my take on this conversation, but I'm at a point where I want to own all my content. Like, there's several creators that got 100 mil for their content just this last 2 weeks. Like one group, they haven't even had a show for 2 years and they got 100 mil. That's wild to me. Now, they gave up all their content all the way back to the beginning, and they'll be able to use that for whatever their next project is. And yes, they did become an employee again, technically, because they're locked into a contract. But now they have cash to do what they want to do creatively. If they did that in 2 years, I've been at this show for 9 months. I'm refining it. I'm getting it better. I'm trying to upgrade the production value, upgrade the clips that come at the end of the process. That's part of why Kling has been such an important part of the process. I need B-roll for people who look like us. I don't want to pay for it. I just want to have my own so that I can make the type of content that I actually want. Yo, to call me daddy, call her daddy girl, she got 150 mil plus profit share plus equity. Joe Rogan, 250 mil plus profit share plus equity. What does that do for a person's business? Like, think about what that would do for any of us in the group. And you let me know in the comments. I see Kay is in the building. What's good, Kay? What's up, Deborah? Thank you for being here. Hi, Adama. Hope you're starting to feel better. The group is praying for you. I hope that things are going well this upcoming week for you. But I want to circle back around to this last point, and then I'm going to actually jump on the live stream with you so I can see the comments. Future trends. It says the future of AI in creative operations includes the fusion of human and digital creativity, real-time emotional responses in artworks, and collaborative projects between humans and AI. Now, I got most of this from a Forbes interview. Let me see if I kept the information at the bottom. Hang tight. I just want to be able to like cite my sources. Hey, you know what? I'll post where I got this. I got to go back to June 1st to actually get the article, but I'll get the article and I'll post it in the group. So this was really what started the process of, okay, we got to start thinking about this from a business standpoint and not just from a content standpoint. Yo, if Facebook was saying on June 1st, you know, week 9 of Leadership Lounge, hey, we're telling the shareholders that this is profitable and we're making money and we're paying creators and you are still getting all of your money every month when we distribute funds. And we're going to focus on video. Hey, that's all me. I need to pivot and switch gears and actually get serious about my video. Let me do that behind the scenes. And instead of me focusing on these little short 15, 30, 45 seconds, 60 seconds worth of content, yo, I actually want to produce long form content. Me personally, that's just my preference because I'm trying to learn how to do this show. And I really want to improve with, like I said, every rep, I want to get better. And I really hope that those that are around me feel the same way too, because it's really going to take us to the next level if we're doing it as a collective versus just me just doing it as an individual and getting so far off ahead of everybody else that nobody can understand what I'm saying. That's why it was so important for those that actually said they were going to do the course last month that they did it. Because if they didn't, yo, you're left behind too. It's nothing personal. Either you're serious or you're not. It's been 9 months. Like somewhere in the world, a whole ass baby's been born into the world. You've had that much time to figure out, hey, am I serious or am I not? I don't want to waste any more time with people who are not serious. If that offends you, I apologize respectfully. I just want to focus on the people who are actually serious and saying that they want to do it with me instead of the ones that are saying, hey, do it for me. I have kids that do stuff for themselves. So I don't have time for adults that don't do things for themselves. I see you, Raya's in the building. What's up? Hang tight. Let's see. Yep.
What's up?
Uriah, I see your icon, but I don't see you on video.
Can you hear me?
Oh, this is going to be a popping episode. Oh, this is about to get popping. Okay, so this really was going to be a short episode, but I think now we're going to get into it. All right, so I can see on my end on Facebook, I see Autumn's in the building. I see Deborah's in the building. I see Shirley's in the house. I see Kay's in the house. I see Raya's in the house. So of those people, I know there's probably like 60% that passed that certification. I haven't talked about it on Leadership Lounge yet because we all need to like meet up and have a conversation. I've had one-on-ones with everybody but Kay, Toy, Otama. So I still need to follow through on my part and do my part. It's not on you guys, it's on me. I had a crazy end of last month and beginning of this month. That's when I'm really so busy at work, I just can't handle the rest. So we have time and we will get together, but I really have an idea that might take us all to the next level and will allow us to have a better understanding of what we're navigating. Like, I have a way better understanding of how what I'm doing in Kling AI is now being more effective. I have a better understanding of that. I have a better understanding of there's my guy.
What's
There's my
happening? Can you hear
guy.
me?
I don't have audio here. Hang on.
Oh,
Um, uh, Jen, if you're watching, can you bring me my headphones, please, so I can hear? Because I actually want to hear my guy. I see he out and about. Special episode on the fly. I love it. Oh, you rock. Thank you, baby. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me get this together because I want to be able to hear this too. Uriah, say something right quick.
hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear
Oh,
me?
it's lagged a little bit. All right, I got you. Got you. There we go.
We can see.
What's poppin',
Thank you,
man?
Shirley.
Happy Sunday, brother.
What's happening? Happy Sunday. You know, it just clicked. I was like, wait, Lewis said
Boy, it looked
we could
nice
pop in.
there.
It's not parked, but it's like under
Yeah,
construction. That's usually where
bro,
I be
you have an
chilling
open
at.
invite. You can come in anytime, any Sunday, if you have the ability. It's good that people get to see both of us.
Trying to
Yeah.
get some more walks in before we lose the sun here in Chicago.
Okay, so I have lag on this one. All right, let me see if I can tether to this phone. Bear with me. I didn't expect to have a guest today. So, bear with me. Yeah. Well,
She said
let me see
she
if I
never
can
thinks it's
tether
me
this
that's
to
lagging.
this one. Bear with me, guys.
You know.
Yes. Yeah, it's lagging on one side or the other. Let me know if you guys can still hear me in the comments because I think my headphones just took over my microphone. So I just want to make sure that you guys should be able to. Yeah, he like mobbing. He's outside. That was me yesterday, brother.
Outside.
You can hear. Okay, cool.
We can hear Lewis. You can still hear me, or am I lagging?
Say that again.
I think you guys hear me. I think Deborah said mine is lagging
I
on my
can.
end.
I can hear you. Yeah. All right. So I could just go raw with my phone. That works. All right. Yeah, it looked like a nice day there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, what you got for us, brother?
I got none. I just want tapping in, saying what's up, what's up.
I love it.
Uh, I'm on listening to everything you said. It's a new day. Like video is king. Like that's what they've been saying for social media pretty much since the pandemic. But I think now it's like you said, people getting multi-hundred million-dollar deals
Yo,
for their video content because
that was
they
crazy.
want the eyeballs. They want the eyeballs, and that's when I started getting into the video editing before like even the AI prompt engineering. And like I've been playing with King. I took your advice with the prompt structure. The thing with me, if you guys seen the post, my patience is really low. Like my
I already
patience is
know.
like absolutely zero. Like I'm usually editing like on the go. So
Yeah.
with all of the not Kling in particular, Kling is probably the best one. I like that, but like the what it's producing is better than what I've been seeing and what I'm able to produce in Runway, which is like pretty much the
Uh-huh.
previous like leader. And I went through. I'm waiting on Sora because I think that when they get that
Uh,
fine tuned, that's gonna take off. That's gonna
And
because I've already
me
seen some
too.
beta versions of it, and it looks sick.
Yo,
I
that's
don't.
up to 60 seconds. Just think, that's 60 seconds of clean footage for Sora, and we're playing around with 5 and 10 seconds right
See,
now.
60, I don't mind waiting a day for 60 seconds because 60 seconds,
That
you could chop that up, you could play around with it. But I mean, I can't wait a day for 5 seconds because like five
right.
seconds ain't a video, you know?
That was the other. So Adama just said Luma is all right. I remembered that you told me
Yeah,
another one. I just couldn't remember what it was because
yeah.
the notes are
Luma
on the phone
AI,
that I'm filming on.
Luma AI, yep,
So
that's
yeah,
legit too.
we've got options. It's just I don't think anybody's quite got it all the way figured out. We're all doing the same thing, but I want to make sure that I'm doing my part to
How's it going?
share. These things are working. Hey, I'm not wasting time texting to video. I want to currently start with I want to be a director. I want to direct it to do what I want it to do. I don't want to have to manually go in there and every single time be like, hey, I got to type a paragraph to get you to understand, like we did with Mid Journey at the beginning of the
Yeah,
process. I'm not writing a whole paper to get 10 seconds. Cannot.
yeah. To
I
experiment with
will
that,
say,
like,
go ahead.
and I mean, and only for that to be an experiment. You know, you write a paragraph, you wait all day, and then you get 10 seconds that's not even usable. You know, like
Right.
it's tough. It's tough.
So I'll say this for Kling, for anybody who's on that has tried the free version of Kling AI, when I signed up this week, um, I saw that there was a monthly saver at the very top. That monthly saver gives you like 600 credits for $3.88, I want to say. And then after the 30 days, it jumps to like $8 or so. But that $3 option gives you enough credits to actually play around for a calendar month. And I noticed it speeds up. It only takes about 10 minutes to get through versus waiting a day.
Right.
So it's you get what you pay for. It's they're forcing
Right.
you to subscribe. It's a good business plan and strategy. But as a consumer, it's like, hey, I see what everybody else is talking about. They're still clearly using the free version because on the $3 version, it's sped up way fast. That's why I have so much video this week.
Nice.
Adama said Adobe is like Kling and Runway, so she likes Kling and Runway. And Kay said, "Yeah, my patience is little to none." Right? No, I totally get that, and like I think that I think that now beginning to prompt for camera angles is really going to turn the corner for a lot of people who are like, "Hey, I'm just not interested in video. I don't want to do it." You're naturally going to be doing the work of it anyway, honestly. If you're already putting in, hey, the person is doing this and move the camera this way, you're directing.
Right.
You're
I tell
you're a
you,
director.
you need to for anybody that's not familiar with that language, like they got scripts out there. Like go find like a movie script. And the stuff that they put in like parentheses is like the director stuff, and that's like the cues for the cameraman. And that's the stuff you could plug in into your video, and that'll just be awesome.
Yep. And Shirley says, see the featured in Unleashed section for camera tips from Uriah from yesterday. I remember that post. When I looked back through it
Mhm.
yesterday, I was like, oh, I got this in my notepad for months ago.
Yep, yep. Adam
But I mean,
po posted the video or a
uh-huh.
video link to it, and like all of those, not the Chat GPT just upgraded, so it's easier to put those camera angles in your prompt because it's like a click of a button. But it's like
Yep.
if you already just know the words, you could just throw it in no matter what platform you're on. Like those Dutch angle, hip level shot, drone
Uh-huh.
shot, 45-degree angle shot, uh,
And
hero
just think
shot.
a lot of that stuff we've been talking about for months with the
Yeah,
prompt framework already. So it
yeah,
should be like right at the top of everybody's mind. So it
yeah.
makes it a little easier for people who have been like rocking with us this whole time. It'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
It
Oh
all
yeah,
it
I have that
all
written down.
it's all connected. Like it all goes
Mm-hmm.
together. So it's like whenever they release another update, we already can capitalize on it and combine that
Uh-huh.
with the tools we've already learned. So it's not like a new tool; it's just another hammer in your toolbox. You know?
Uh-huh. Well, and it's like this just expands on what I already did. And now you're going to see this symbiotic relationship with prompting for video and prompting for images and an improvement in both because of it. Yeah, I see you, Jersey, bruh. I see you. I see you. I know it's Sunday. I'm not wearing any gear. I literally just threw this shirt on. I'm wearing shorts, tank top today. I'm so sore from walking around yesterday.
Right. I just threw it on because I'm like, I don't want to be talking through the house because it's a madhouse there. I'm like, let me throw something on. Let me get out the house.
Okay, so before these comments go too far, all right, I see Kay says she thinks her shortness on patience is due to the length of time she spends in this fast-paced technology. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
She also said we've been perfect on prompting methods, and Autumn said, "Yeah." And remember, 5 months ago, she was teaching herself animation. So we're all moving at like light speed. And I want to say this because I know the graphic designers, they're not gonna say it. Yo, we are catching them fast, and they are threatened. We're
Yeah.
catching them fast, yo. So really keep it going with what you're doing. I talked to a few people at Comic Con and just asked very general. Let me just kind of like dance around the AI question, but get them to answer. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I would do said I wouldn't say that around here." I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Oh, we don't really use that kind of stuff, and you know, I use Blender." He said, "I use Blender," and I'm like, looking at the artwork, and it's like, dog, I know what I'm looking at. I can see it. Like I can see the editing, like things that I have to do in your picture because it's from AI. I can see it.
Right.
So just know we are catching those graphic designers fast and they are feeling threatened
Yeah.
because now we're going to be
But
able
I
to
mean,
take their clients. Their clients are going to
right,
see
because
what
doing
we
it for
are able to
cheaper.
do.
Because every time I get a job, I go and look at what the pros are charging and I undercut it. So it's just the nature of the beast. Like it's not going to be as great probably as like somebody who's been doing it professionally for 15 years. but it's gonna be worth the money. Like it's gonna be better than like your typical average Joe. It might not be the pro level, but it's gonna be worth the price of admission, you know?
Uh-huh. Even Kay says she's a graphic designer and she in real life too with AI, and it's definitely a topic for sure. I mean, in a lot of industries, this needs to be a conversation because we're not in the same world we were 5 years ago, and we're not going back.
Mm,
Life is
no,
not going
because
to be
graphic design,
pre-COVID. It's not going to be pre-COVID life
Canva is
ever
already
again.
no, it ain't. I mean, like Canva's already like we were talking about it earlier. Canva's already made a lot of people like amateur graphic designers, and now with the AI on top of it, like if you know how to use AI to get the image you want, and then also master Canva, you're a beast. You're a
Yep.
beast, and you're putting
They got
out
bought, didn't
stuff that
they?
people
Did
no
Canva get
Adobe
bought?
wanted to buy them,
No,
unless
somebody
it
bought
just
them in the
happened. I don't
last
think so.
60 days. I heard about a deal with Canva.
Ah, okay.
Somebody
I
bought them.
I remember I, I know they did a merge. Adobe has been trying to buy them for the longest, and Canva was like, no.
Uh-huh. It wasn't Adobe. It was somebody else. It's another big player, but I think it is a partnership or a merger, but
Mhm.
they get to keep the
Probably a
Canva name.
merger.
But I believe that they got bought. Just think about
They got
that.
bought out a few. They bought out a few. Right.
She
Yeah,
said
Affinity.
Affinity.
Right.
Okay.
Because the way their platform set up is set up where you could add functions into each of the apps.
Mhm.
So they pretty much
Now, what if we
did
could
it
do that?
better than what Adobe did. Because Adobe was trying it, but Adobe is so clunky that after the deal, uh, after Canvas said no, Adobe just went and copied its entire platform. So I don't know if you
Hmm.
guys use
Hmm.
Adobe Express, and it used to be I forgot what it was called before, but it used to be their version. And now, like I go to the app, they was like, we restyled everything. If you want any of that old stuff, you better download it now because it's gone. They
Yep.
reworked the entire thing, and now the whole new platform looks and feels like Canva.
Yeah, and see, and Deborah is saying it right now. No one seems to understand what that's going to mean for Canva. What does that look like in 3 months when their entire design space looks different,
It's gonna
has
be
different
hot because right
tools?
now, Canva, the thing that struggled with Canva is like spitting out high quality images. Like you could
Uh-huh.
put a design together, but to put down a high quality resolution that's typical for print, it kind of struggled with that. But like
Hmm.
now, it got the backbone with Affinity to be able to produce high quality images and actually really get into the metadata, because that's what Adobe does. It gets into the metadata.
Hmm.
You could fine tune it to exactly what you need it, because
Yep.
creating an image for the screen and creating an image for print is two totally different animals.
Yeah, and Kay
You know,
just said, I agree, it does look like Canva, but the Express tools are stronger.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why, like, a lot of times I think it just really depends on the user. Like I was just telling Jen yesterday, I'm in CapCut 90% of the time. I'm not in Canva very often. And when I'm like, hey, I just can't do what I need to do on my phone on the go without going into Canva, I'll send it to Jen. Hey, can you just do this? Because I just don't want to play around with Canva.
Right.
It's,
Canva is like quick and dirty. Like you could go in,
yeah.
get a template, and do it. But like Kay said, Express is stronger. So if you know what you're doing, you could go in Express and actually fine tune that text, where you can't really do that in Canva. Canva be like, oh, look at these templates. These look hot. Just use that. Where
Hmm.
Express might not have it laid out, but you could make it look like that if you know what you're doing.
Uh-huh. Well, and we're getting into refined skills as a group. And I don't think everybody quite necessarily understands. You have put together a very specific set of skills that it takes people years to go through this process, and we're flying through it in under 12 months it, with with precision. Like it's nobody in our group that's a slouch. Everybody got skills. They can bang, yo. So it's like, hey, you also got to understand from a content creation standpoint, if you're doing video, you're a lighting director, you're a color grader, you're an editor, you're a producer, you're executive producer. And then when you get into the marketing side, you're a marketing director, you're uh, working on your own website, you're a web designer. Like you have so many different hats. And now we're rolling into this new set of skills with either text to video or image to video. And it's like, hey, you're really doing a lot. So just think about this unique set of skills that you're putting together and how you specifically are going to use them to your advantage. Oh yeah, Autumn, you're becoming a beast for sure, for sure.
Yes.
I
Deborah,
thought I
you
saw
can't
Toy in
submit
the house.
high quality
She's
in
the other one.
Canva. Deborah, like you're totally right. I try to submit it and my Canva crashes every time.
Mhm.
Like it just breaks.
But we're also pushing the boundaries. Like Uriah, you and I, we like to push buttons until we like break the system. I
Yeah,
want to see,
yeah.
like, I'm a button
I try
pusher.
to break it.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay, that's what you can do. Okay, that's the bar now.
Toy, I'm glad you tuned in. Uriah's walking around. He was just at the park too. But Toy's the other one that, from a video standpoint, like, I know she and I have talked about this, but I really would love to have Toy come on the show and do a walkthrough, even if it's on a Zoom where we could get a little more direction. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've only been at this for 4 days, 5 now because it's Sunday. Like I've only been at animation for 5 total days, so I'm really not the expert in the field. But I'm like, I don't mind sharing what information that I have. But Toy is the one from a, and this is just me, and I've told her this before. Like I love her director skills. Like she has a skill set where she's kind of in a league of her own, and I really, really admire that. And I think that the way that she does what she does with her businesses, it would be good for us to hear how she does what she does from a video standpoint.
I
Her
like Toy.
production.
Toy remind me like what I do at the house with the kids. We like trying to get crazy angles, doing panning with the phone. So I know she's like crawling on the floor because that's the only way you could do it. Like
Oh
and get
yeah.
it. You like hold the phone, like try to keep it as steady as possible, bringing it all the way up. And it's like that's how I started getting into it because I'm like I just want to make cool shit for my kids,
Yeah.
like cool shit for the family to post. So like, and then it just gets better from there.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I feel like there's this group of us that's already kind of next level, and we're all running together, and we're all doing it on a bunch of different devices, different programs, but we're all moving at the same pace and just leading that field. So I really, I really appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us. And I always say it, if there's anything that I can do to help, like make it easier or do it a little differently in terms of style or how it's conveyed, I just need y'all to tell me. I'm with y'all till the wheels fall off. I might have to switch gears a little bit from mid journey to learning how to prompt for video, but like, yo, we here till the wheels fall off. I built another guide also in the group so that, hey, we can really go back and refer to that over the course of this next couple months. So
This
there's a
is
new
just
Kling
for
AI. Yeah, I know.
Adama.
I see your Cubs.
Well, no, this is for Adama. I think she said she wanted to see it closer.
Ah, got you. Yeah. Nah, we crushing it as a crew. And like, I think if there's anything else we need from a video standpoint, I'm ready to kind of tap in and dive into how I do what I do with with between light cut and cap cut over this next couple of weeks. I think I'm gonna peel off of Mid Journey just altogether, and I'm gonna start screen recording some of just what I'm doing, and I'll voice it over because the picking the specific clips and then going back into CapCut is gonna take folks a long way.
Yeah. Think bigger. I like it.
Think bigger, yeah,
Think bigger.
always think
Think
bigger.
bold.
Mm-hmm.
Think bold. Insta 360. If you see any of my video that you're like, what the fuck is happening? I'm probably using the Insta 360, where it's like going in circles and zooming all the way out. And their motto is think bold. So it's like think
Uh-huh.
bigger, think bold, and it's like always thinking about the next way. Like that's what I say. Like this year, we've learned a lot of skills. Always just put them all together. Like every time you learn a new one, don't just spit that one out. Combine it with something you just learned, and now you
Mm-hmm.
got a combo package. Like, and that's how Shirley always say the wow factor. Like some things get that wow factor because I just put everything. I put the whole salad in. I'm like
Yep.
I said, I'm trying to break it. Like, can I do every trick I learned this month? And I can I do it in one thing? And usually it look messy, it looks crazy, but like okay, all right, now that's too much. Let me pull some things out.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now
Uh-huh.
now that's clean. You know.
See, that's what I say when I'm like, hey, I'm throwing mac and cheese against the wall, see what sticks. Okay, so that worked. All of that didn't. So I'm not even gonna worry about that stuff. But the stuff that stuck, content wise, oh yeah, let me write that down. I'll circle back around. I'm I saw a dude yesterday. I think I told you last night when we were like DMing. I seen a dude with the Insta 360 in his pocket, and he was just walking around with his wife, just like super nonchalant. So I got to
Yeah.
see in real time.
So
Yo,
was
it
it the
wasn't
square?
that big.
Was it the square one or was it the cylinder, like the long one?
It was a square, like
The
a
square, yeah,
square in his pocket, and
yeah,
he had a little like wand that he was just
yeah,
finger controlling, but he was just like walking around
yeah,
normal.
yeah. And it's taking everything.
Oh yeah. Well, and he was with their film crew for Comic Con. So he was actually just
Mm.
walking around, just getting footage, not
So
having
that's
to
it.
hold a camera. He didn't have to
Yeah,
hold a gimbal, nothing. He was just
yeah.
like free to do what he wanted to.
So you should see my setup. I got like a vest that has like screws all over it. So I'm like
Uh,
screwing stuff in. I got poles hanging out of here. I got mics hanging out of here. I got a light. I, they call me Inspector Gadget. It's like I'm a one
yeah.
man film crew.
But that's essentially what takes your content to the next level. Like I'm really learning how to produce like that. So when I'm around like I said, you and Toy, Kay, I'm watching Shirley over the last 60 days crush it, just absolutely just crush it. And so I'm like, hey, I need to start to refine my process so I can build my own style. I have been filming everything manually, and now I don't necessarily have to.
I'm gonna put Shirley on blast because she's like the prototype. Like she went from, oh, you're right. If I just like your images, I'll share it. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not doing no image. I'm not doing AI. I'm not prompting.
I'm not
Y'all could
doing
do
video.
that.
Hey, she was not
Right.
gonna do
I'm not
video.
doing video. I'm not doing prompts. That's for y'all. And now look at it. She could teach a class.
I tried to talk to her about it this week. I'm gonna continue to work on her because I'm like, I agree. She is the prototype for a very specific demographic that is just not interested in tech because of whatever. Yo, that Pisces ain't lazy no more. She
Nah,
can bang for
nah.
real, for real. But no, like it's everybody across the board. Like I, I I view it differently because I was still in the group when it was just me posting for me, and there was nobody else in the group. And then as people started to trickle in, it's like, oh, that person's they got really dope art, huh? I can't wait to see what they do. And now it's like, yo, we got 280 plus people, and it's like I'm looking at the insights and can see who's active and who has the most comments each month, and like it's really dope watching everybody's progression. But then outside of the group, I'm watching people grow as business owners and evolve as content creators. That to me is super rewarding to
I'm
see.
gonna call out. I'm gonna call out like from now. I'm gonna calling out Adama as well. I've been
Uh,
following Adama since the big AI boom. Like I want to say last November, and she puts out hot fire all the time. But what I like now is that she's starting to put everything out. Like she's starting to like really just post it all. And I'm like, you just post it, just put it out there. Like if you made it, it's more than likely it's gonna be hot, and somebody gonna like it. And if they don't, then it's like that's the thing. But more than likely, people are gonna like it.
Chad is in the building.
Chad,
I see Chad's another one.
Chad.
Chad's another one. He's one that I would love to have come in and teach a financial literacy class. Just, bro, can we get an hour? You know, because this there are some that just so yeah. I mean, we got a all-star team in the group, and it's been really dope watching everybody's progression and watch everybody put it together in their own unique, different ways. Nobody's doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Everybody
I'll
got
put
their own
Kay on the
flavor.
spot. I'll put Kay on the spot because I'm like, I had seen her outside of the group and was like, yo, she's got fire. And then I like lost her and couldn't find her anywhere online and couldn't remember what her last name was. So I couldn't even like type it in to look for it. And I just happened to see it in another group one day. I'm like, oh yeah. Well, let me make sure to hit like. Let me make sure to comment. So, we really are putting it together as a group. Uh, there's definitely something we got to build going. We got to build going. Can't say too much, but we have a build going for sure.
It's happening.
Oh yeah. Well, I know I have to go to Costco. That's my next duties for the day. We have shopping to do today because we played all day yesterday. So before I like peel off, I want to just touch on Kling AI, and then I want to touch on just some upcoming stuff this week before we all peel off and take off. So I put two different prompt structures as well as a guide in the Unleashed AI group. So between the featured section and the guide section, you should have new tips and tools for Kling AI. If you have any questions, I know that we're going to have more info about it, but this at least will get us started and going with the basics. We can kind of refine from there and get into more specifics about prompt structures, but and also in the guide section, go into the my prompt framework and watch the shot type video. That'll give you a short list of different shot types that you can kind of play around with. Um, the other thing I got going this week is new content for the subscribers. We are going to be doing a little bit more video, and it probably will be coming from this episode, last episode, and 2 weeks ago, so that I know everybody's got everything leading up to Kling AI basics. I will work on a long form video to both put in the group and to put in the subscriber hub. I'll have that done maybe by Friday because I do need to film something. So if there's something you want me to include, go ahead and just shoot me a DM. That's probably going to be the quickest, most direct way to catch me this week. You right? You got anything?
No, I don't got anything. I'm probably gonna be quiet. I'm a data analyst, so this is a big reporting week. So last week I was knee deep in spreadsheets. This week I'm gonna be knee deep in spreadsheets. So I ain't got nothing much. I'll be in the background doing, pretty much following Lewis's lead with that prompt structure. So I let him do all the work, and then I take all the glory.
I got you. Um, yeah, I know I'm less busy this week, so I'll be taking on the lead, and I'm gonna be, instead of dropping in mid-journey prompts this week, I'm gonna drop Kling prompts. Um, and what I'll say is, let's as a group plan to whatever prompt I drop. If you're gonna use either image to video or text to video, restructure that prompt accordingly, and then drop it in the video section of the group. Oh,
Yeah.
I see Veda and Dom just got here. What's goody,
What's
y'all?
happening?
Our whole family's up in here today.
So I don't
But yeah,
know. For upscaling, I always put Krea out there, Krea. And I don't know about you guys, but I got a shortcut because it's not an app. I got a shortcut that goes straight to enhancements. But I just looked in there, and they also have video, AI video
I
as
put it in the
well.
chat. I put
Yeah.
it in the chat.
So that's another one to play around with. I know I got like three main apps, and I try to stick with them, but I always got to go back because apps are updating just crazy too. Like I go into an app, and I'm like, wait, they got some new toys in here. All right, hold on.
Uh-huh.
This is my evening. I got to figure out what this new stuff is. So
Yeah.
Craya, they just up the game, and they got a little bit more features too. So that's something to play with if you already play, if you already paid for it.
That's what's up. And then Chad just said Adobe Express. Yeah, we were talking about
Yeah,
that too, Chad.
yeah. The Adobe Express is my
That's kind of
that's
like the
pretty.
big three,
That's what
honestly.
I learned. That's pretty much what I learned on
Hmm.
Adobe Express. It was called something different before, but that's where it's at now. That's pretty much what I was learning, even everything. Like, cause even learning a little bit of video, because I was too afraid to do like actual Premiere Pro.
Playground.
Because Playground has updated big time. So they all stepping it up, and I think
They
2025
have
is going to
to.
be a big year. 2025 is going to be a beast
They're
because the Apple.
preparing for Sora as a business.
Yeah,
They're 10 seconds won't cut it when Sora comes out. When you can get 60 seconds from another product, 10 seconds ain't going to work anymore.
nah, nah.
So, yeah, it's the landscape is changing. It's changing, it's evolving quickly, and I want to say we're in crunch time at this end of the year. Everybody who's got a business, this is the biggest opportunity for the rest of the year. So if there's stuff that we as a group collectively need to be successful across the board with all of our businesses, yo, please put it in the group. Tag at everyone so we all see it. That's going to be really pivotal over the next 4 months. The closeout is real.
Yeah,
Tap
and I
into
throw a plug
Unreal
out.
Engine and you'll get a leg up. Okay. All right. Todd, coming through.
I also offer like one-on-one services for anything business related or content creation related. Because sometimes like you just need that one-on-one. And if you need that, hit me up and we can work something out.
That's what's up. And I know I also have a consultation service that I offer as well. So I did put the link at the very top. If you're subscribed, you have direct access to me. So you can reach out anytime. I know that if it's after a certain time of night, I'm not going to text you back until tomorrow. But my phone is always available to y'all. Y'all are family. So whatever you need help with, let me know. That's all I got, man. This was nice. Thank you for popping in, Uriah. I appreciate it.
For
I know we
sure, for
talk on a
sure.
regular, but this was real cool.
Yeah. I just been trying to get the setups going. Like Sundays is just kind of crazy with the kids and all, but we kind of got a routine going now.
That's what's up, man. Well, everybody, I always do this every week. Anybody who's not following each other in in the comments, go follow each other. Tap in this week. Last week, your homework was to set your favorites, set 3 of your favorites, and tap into them. I would revisit that again this week. If I set you to favorites, I dropped it in your comments. Hey, I just set you to favorites so that I'm now seeing everybody on a regular basis. I would really encourage that you continue to do that. Aside from that, y'all already know what it is. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you got some value out of this, share it with somebody else who might get some value out of it. I'll have it posted within the next hour in the group, and I will see y'all later. Uriah,
Right. Good.
I'll
I'm
talk to
gonna
you
be tapping
soon.
in more. Y'all have a good week.
Holla! Peace!